another feature to our application. This time we'll be sorting the data set and displaying it in a different list box. I've added a label so that we know that this is the sorted data. So let's go back to our code. This time we're going to write a method called sortData, which accepts an integer array as an argument and uses a selection sort algorithm to sort our array. In order to see this better, I've gone back and changed our initial numbers array so that the numbers here are no longer in ascending order. I'm going to call this method sortData and pass it an integer. In this case, it will be my numbers array. First, I need two integers to hold the index of the array element where the minimum is found, and another one to hold the minimum value. Now I need a for loop which is going to step through the array starting at index 0 until the one to last element to identify the minimum. I'm now initializing minimum index, a minimum value, to be my starting point. So here the minimum index will be initialized as 0 because that's what I set start scan to. The minimum value will be initialized as the first element of the array. Inside this for loop, I need a second for loop. This one's also going to run through the array one element at a time until it reaches the end of the array. And if it finds any element that is less than my first array element, which I've initialized as min value, it's going to swap them out. So here, if the array element is less than the minimum value, then we want to set the minimum value to be the value of that array element. And then we want min index to take on that index value. Now I need another method that's going to swap out the element. I have the red squiggly line because I haven't defined that method yet. That's the method that we talked about on the top of page 432. Which swaps elements. It's a swap method that accepts two integer arguments by reference and swaps their contents without overwriting anything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to insert my swap method before this one. Last but not least, I want to write the statements behind my sort button. So when I click the sort button, I want the sortData method to sort my array called numbers. Next, I need a for each loop, like I wrote before, in order to push these values into the list box that I created on the right hand side of the form. Now I'm ready to test it. So you can see here I'm going to display the data and it's not sorted. It's like it was in the original array. My calculate button will give me the sum and the average. I can obtain the minimum and the maximum. And now the sort button displays the data sorted in the second list box.